GTTV. And we back. What's up with you? Now. Alright guys, so big question. Can Manny Pacquiao really beat up Spence at this time in his career? Let's break it down. So we just seen Spence come off the victory off of Sean Porter. And now we feel like we know a little bit more about who this guy really is. Now, everybody was getting on Roy Jones for saying, we don't know what Spence is. Now everybody's like, oh, I see what Roy Jones was talking about. He wasn't hating. This is when it says when people don't really know boxing. And I always sided with Roy Jones. We don't know about this guy, Errol Spence. And if you think I'm not true to what I'm saying, that's why I love YouTube, because you can go right in my Errol Spence section, and all the things I've said are there. From the past, about a year ago to whatever time, or everything I said is there. So that is my prediction of what I thought of Errol Spence. We didn't know, we weren't sure, and I told you that Sean Porter fight was going to be close because he's never fought anybody at that caliber. So we don't know what he's ready for at that caliber. Not even Kell Brook. Just like I told people too. I feel Sean Porter beat Kell Brook. But people don't want to do. I don't understand. That fighting style, for some reason, once you get to a certain level, even within the sport, they want to see certain things, and I understand that. Sean Porter needs to learn that and apply that, which it kind of sucks, because if you have a certain style, you shouldn't really get penalized for the style you have. But anyway, back to Spence and Pacquiao. You know, if they were in the ring, I'd say go just like this, first round review. It wouldn't even be a feel out at this point. Say the fight is in the future, maybe we'll say, let's say we put in early 2020. So with the information we know, with the fights that we've seen now, we have seen everything we need to know about the welterweight division right now. We know enough. So, with what we know, Errol Spence would get in there, Pacquiao would run straight to him. Straight to him. And the problem I feel with Errol Spence and Pacquiao, why the styles wouldn't be good for Spence too much, is because of how slow he is. We saw how slow he was against Sean Porter. He was the slower fighter in the fight. More calculated, but definitely the slower fighter. I mean, the output and the amount of punches that Sean Porter was putting out, we can always see that Errol Spence was trying to keep up with that. Now, Pacquiao is not way faster than Porter, but a good amount faster than Porter. So his problem would be more of him being Errol Spence. The problem he would be dealing with more would be dealing with, Spence would have a problem dealing with Pacquiao's speed more than anything, bottom line. I'm just trying to analyze it at the same time and make sure I don't say something that I don't want to say. That's what's taking me so long to. But he would have more problem with the speed of Pacquiao and the angles that Pacquiao would be putting him at. Because, like I told you, Errol Spence doesn't like to be backed up. And when he is backed up, I actually don't think he's the strongest fighter anymore. He couldn't really push Porter, and he couldn't put Porter remember when every time Porter would get in the ropes, and sometimes Errol Spence would get some good shots. Bang, bang, bang. Soon as that would happen, Porter would turn him around and put him on the rope. Now, that means that Porter was never feeling pressured to, or his strength. There wasn't as much strength as we thought for Errol Spence. So I just think that Pacquiao would easily, not very easily, but it'd be pretty easy, and I think he would do better against Errol Spence than he did against Keith Thurman. GTTV. Comment, subscribe, and love me. Animal.